You're tuned in to Nerd Overload, your weekly pop and geek culture show covering movies, TV, games, and comics. Now your hosts, Cody Pinnick, Sam Dunham, and Josh Harrison.
Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that's 2 energy drinks to the wind and ready to make a show.
Woo!
Woo!
Woo, yeah!
Let's go!
I'm Cody.
I'm Sam.
I'm hyped.
And I'm Samantha.
We have an excellent show for you this week. We're going to be talking about some movie trailers. We're going to be talking about the new Zelda game. We have a whole bunch of other stuff to go over. But first, let's talk about some things we have been checking out.
Check it out!
What happened, guys?
What happened?
If we ever get nailed for calling this segment "Check It Out" and using the clip from Steve Rule, it's going to change into "What happened?" And that's going to become the clip. Those Mickey Mouse cartoons are great.
Every time I hear that little jingle from that little that dramatic music, it just makes me think of the stupid.
The gopher?
Yes.
Yes.
We're talking about old internet memes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dramatic
gopher.
Oh, and that video is so crusty.
Oh, it's so crunchy. It's so crunchy.
It's been uploaded like literally 1.5 million times to the internet.
Yeah. But no, those Mickey Mouse cartoons, those are, growing up, I was always like, Mickey Mouse, those are the suck cartoons. Give me the Warner Brothers. But
they have no edge.
But these new ones, they actually have a little bit of edge to them. They're actually pretty good.
Is that the one that has the really different art style?
Yeah.
Well, it's Disney doing a SpongeBob with Mickey Mouse, more or less.
Basically.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's
that's
really
kind of
good.
The tone that
I've seen
for.
pictures of like the Halloween zombie episode or something where Goofy's all tore up and stuff, but
there's a Christmas special that's very good where Donald wants to stay for Christmas because he doesn't do all the ducks go to like Florida or whatever.
Oh, right, because ducks, fly south.
Yeah, and he wants to stay by, and he just starts falling apart, and it gets all gross and weird. But yeah, it's really good. Like, I mean, I haven't watched a ton of it, but
I haven't watched a ton of them either.
Watched
but
here or there have been actually legitimately pretty funny.
They're pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, and the animation's that
it's really
art
smooth.
style, it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm glad it's a departure from like the basic stuff. Like
the old, oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Mickey Mouse Clubhouse or whatever.
Right.
I mean, was it last Christmas? We sat, me and Nicole sat and like watched like a bunch of like old or not even like just old, just older like Disney holiday shorts with like Mickey and the gang. Mm-hmm. Like, they did like Gift of the Magi and all that stuff. And
there was something weirdly saccharine about old Mickey Mouse cartoons.
Yeah.
And giving them a little bit of edge actually makes them go, oh, okay.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like
I like this
like
now.
The way you guys describe it kind of reminds me of that Bugs Bunny and Daffy cartoon from a handful of years ago.
Oh, the sitcom.
The sitcom where they
that
lived
was
in the house
actually
together.
pretty good too.
Yeah, I like that.
But
I like it when they kind of mess with the formula a little bit, but not enough to go. Well, this doesn't feel like the characters.
Not Lunatics Unleashed.
Oh, God.
They do a lot of Disney deep cuts in it too, like the psychologist duck.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I always forget about him.
His name's like Drake or something.
Yeah,
he's in that Christmas special.
And he kind of sounds like Scrooge a little bit.
Yeah, and Scrooge is in it too.
Nice.
And it's old Scrooge too. Well, I mean, anytime I see Scrooge in anything, it's the old Scrooge voice and not the new Scrooge voice, which is
not Doctor Who.
David Tennant.
Yeah.
Well,
which that DuckTales series is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Well, the old Scrooge died.
Well, yeah.
I figured it was like Angus something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right. So what are some things you guys have been doing this week? I am going to be no help in this segment.
I'm 6 hours deep into the new Call of Duty multiplayer.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like gameplay wise, it's not terrible. I mean, it has all the same stupid Call of Duty tropes.
A ringing
like
endorsement.
Duty, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's like I said, it's not bad. there are a lot of things I can talk about, and most of them are like technical things that stand out that are just horrible. Like the menus, they are some Hulu junk menus. I hate them. They are not very user-friendly. It is hard to navigate, and it's stupid. And everything's in the freaking cash shop.
Are they better or worse than the Smash Brothers ones?
I'd almost say worse.
Because I am not a fan of those Smash Brothers menus.
Oh, no, they're not good. They're not good menus.
They are style over substance.
Yeah. I know Sakurai's wife, I think, does them.
Yeah.
And I do not. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
They are very confusing to navigate. The Battle Pass for Call of Duty was incredibly hard to navigate because it looks like a map. It looks like a satellite sat map or whatever. And it's like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to unlock things. It's stupid. It's not, and there's nothing that explains it to you. It's just like, here you go. I'm like, okay, but whatever. I got the Shredder skin. That's all I really cared about.
Why is Shredder in Call of Duty?
Because in the last Call of Duty, they had other characters. Like there was King Kong and Godzilla themed stuff. There was like the classic slasher movie villains.
Why?
Because Fortnite.
Well,
Pretty much.
But at least Fortnite has like a look that like
Yeah.
They do have kind of a unified look.
Yeah.
It's almost like the...
Well, sort of. When you start getting into like the anime skins and some of the other
Well, those are
anime-
just going to look like anime.
Well,
They have a very like how to draw anime look
Yes.
about them.
Yes.
Even
Yeah.
like the official ones kind of do. It's not
Yeah.
ideal.
yeah.
It's not
The Rick
bad,
and
but-
Morty ones look like that too, and it's just odd.
I kind of equate the Fortnite style to... Do you remember the Disney...
yeah, I was actually saying
those
that-
little figurines,
Yeah.
the
Disney
Toy Story
Infinity.
Disney Infinity, where they took all of their characters and put them under one kind of
Like
house
house
style.
But Fortnite doesn't completely do that because some of the characters that look a little more realistic, like Star Wars characters, Indiana Jones, things like that, they don't really look
Indiana
quite.
Jones is in Fortnite.
Yeah, there was a quest line during last summer to unlock him. I have the full Indiana Jones set,
Nice.
and it's really funny.
You can make him dab or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. His
Dance to Lizzo.
yeah, you can. The glider for Indiana Jones is the inflatable raft from the Temple of Doom.
Nice. Okay.
And
funny.
when you deploy it, you fall on it, like you bounce on it, but then
nice.
you swing off and grab the handles to float down.
Okay.
And the two skins are classic Indiana Jones and then ripped up shirt Temple of Doom Indiana Jones.
I don't think they'll ever top the Cacodemon for best glider.
I hate that thing. It's
Why?
so loud. Yeah, it's such a loud, horrible sound.
I love him.
I mean, the whole Doom set. I mean, and that's another thing. Like the Doom, all the it's part of their gaming icons set. They all don't look right.
They look like they do in Doom Eternal.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't fit the art style.
Yeah.
But all the other Fortnite skins they have a similar, style of how they look.
They kind of redid Geralt from The Witcher a little bit.
A little bit, but also another thing I hated with the Geralt one was his two different skins look almost virtually identical. They're just, some pieces are a slightly different color. It's stupid. Anyway, Call of Duty.
Okay.
I mean, I could talk about BRs all day long because apparently that's all I play anymore. But no, the Shredder skin's all right. I mean, he looks like Shredder, though I'm pretty sure the voice actor for it is the same voice actor for another Japanese operative they have that you can use.
Well, sure. Why hire more than one Asian guy?
Right. But the look of the Shredder is actually kind of interesting. Like he looks like 1990 Shredder a little bit.
Okay.
Like he has like the red suit underneath and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I got curious to like what little details they had in the model, so I went into the model viewer and I was looking. His like backpack has like a TGRI like ooze canister.
Oh,
in it.
interesting. Okay, sure.
Though it's weird if you look at his helmet and it looks like the Shredder helmet, but if you turn it to the side, you can see pieces of like an actual military tactical helmet, kind of like hidden underneath all the Shredder attachments.
So it's like they just slapped
They just-
it on top of a pre-existing model.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, Call of Duty. I mean,
Yeah.
Is it just me, or does it seem like a little it's in bad taste to slap a bunch of like pop culture characters in your war game that's already in bad taste?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna go big, if you're gonna do it, you gotta go big.
Yeah,
I
I
guess. I just think it's weird to have the Shredder use a gun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is weird. It is
That doesn't feel right.
No, not at all. Like
It's like when they put the Street Fighter characters in Fortnite. It's like,
Sure.
why are they using guns?
oh yeah, I mean
Although technically Chun-Li does use a gun
Yes, she is a
because
cop,
she's a
unfortunately.
cop. She is a cop. CIA now. She's been upgraded, I believe.
that's so
but-
weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
But
I mean,
yeah.
I think Cammy was a British operative at one point, wasn't
Yeah.
British operative and also
clone doll.
Shadaloo, yeah, one of the dolls. Killer Bee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you said, it's all it is cash grab, to get people to like, hey, buy this thing.
But it worked.
It did.
Yeah,
It did.
it got ya.
It did get me. But also all the other skins suck.
Really?
Oh yeah, because you have like the two factions in the multiplayer that you switch between, but you can mark which one is your favorite. All the fun skins are in the one faction, and all the others, most of the other skins are in the other one, and they're all just basic military-looking people. Just some people have skull masks, or they look like a sniper ghillie suit.
So you have the faction for the people who play the game because it's serious. This is serious.
I'm a war man.
War man, and then you have the factions like, I'm going to play a stupid cartoon game for cartoons.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
like the one side, they have Shredder. There's a Santa Claus pack from back during Christmas of an operative named Klaus, and he has an executioner finisher that is just a German suplex.
They should stop having the pretense of it being some sort of war simulation.
Oh yeah, because all of the skins and attachments and stuff that you can throw on your guns that make them look goofy, it doesn't matter. Like part of the Shredder pack was this skin set for one of the shotguns, and it turns the whole thing chrome and bright red with a laser sight that looks like the Shredder's symbol.
Oh, like the Foot Clan symbol.
No, it's not the Foot Clan symbol. It's like Shredder's personal symbol.
Oh yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Marketing.
The 3-point.
Marketing is very important to the show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Though one of the weapon of charm enchantments for the side you can get on your gun is the little Foot Clan symbol.
Oh, well, there you go.
They should bring back the storming the beaches of Normandy level from the old Call of Duties, and then you can storm the beaches of Normandy as the Shredder and Santa Claus.
I know, right? Oh, here's the other dumb thing for Warzone, the Call of Duty BR,
Battle Royale.
yeah, the Battle Royale. The Shredder skin is not available to use. Only in just the regular multiplayer. I'm like, what's the point of this then?
Yeah, but why?
Yeah, I know. I was like, but why?
But for why?
I don't know why I'm clowning on a game that virtually doesn't change from year to year. Because I knew
It's just like sports games.
yeah
They
or
update the roster and that's it.
or Assassin's Creed games, or I mean everything kind of just has been stagnant for the yearly releases.
Why innovate when people are going to buy it anyway?
Exactly.
I really like that Egyptian
Origin?
Assassin's Creed. I played all the way through that. That was very
I mean, don't get me
good.
wrong. I mean, the Origin, Odyssey, Valhalla.
I started Odyssey. That's the Greek one,
Yes,
right?
yes.
I really like that too.
But a lot of people complain because they talk about how they don't feel like Assassin's Creed games because you're not really doing a lot of the stuff you did in the classic Assassin's
that's
Creed
true.
games. They kind of became like just a standard adventure games.
Yeah, it feels a lot like Zelda, a lot like Breath of the Wild.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Or like your things like your I don't know, like Tomb Raider or
Yeah,
God of War.
yeah. I don't think stealth has as wide of appeal. It's harder. It's harder to play.
I love
stealthy.
stealth games though. I wish we would get remake Tenchu or something.
I'm surprised they haven't.
I know, right? Because I love Tenchu. Tenchu 2, the Birth of the Stealth Assassins, was a fantastic game on the PS1.
It had the samurai movie style blood spray in it. That's the
I
only
loved
thing
it. Yeah.
That's the only thing I remember about it.
Nice. Speaking of which, there's a new trailer for Shin Kamen Rider.
Ooh, it
it's
looks so good.
Yeah, I was gonna save it for news, but we'll talk about it now because I watched this trailer. It's like the first 5 minutes of the movie, and it's just like it's almost shot for shot like one of the first classic that the Kamen Rider 1 did. The only difference is Hideaki Anno, the director, decided, hey, this guy is a cyborg super weapon punching a bunch of normal humans in cloth masks. They shouldn't just fall over, so they like evaporate in clouds of red mist
Right.
because it is a super strong robot punching normal humans.
I want to see it so bad.
I know.
It's supposed to be coming to the States here in the next couple of weeks, I think.
Ellswick was texting me about it the other day.
Yeah.
Man, when he jumps on the motorcycle and like his helmet morphs into the Kamen Rider helmet.
Yes.
And I'm like, all right, let's go.
Uh-huh.
And like the scarf goes blowing. And I'm like, let's go.
Yep.
Oh man. I really like the Shin series of things.
I like Hideaki Anno.
I like Anno stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Shin Ultraman come out?
It's out. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. I didn't know if it actually
I
came
have heard
out.
it's similarly as excellent as Godzilla and Kamen Rider.
Godzilla was such a wild, weird
I
movie.
love Shin
Yeah,
Godzilla.
that's
Oh, it was so
great.
good for what I remember of it.
I know, right? But
We saw it at midnight. I was very tired.
we
that
both
night.
were. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep during the movie at some point.
There was a point that I'm pretty sure I fell asleep as well.
Like, I mean, we went down to the gateway.
I remember the googly eye.
The googly-eyed larva Godzilla thing.
I love that thing.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
And then like weird like
The-
embryo
Yep.
Godzilla.
And then the Ava lasers, tail lasers.
Yeah, and then the very Ava-esque like after he's frozen and there's like all like the human hands coming out of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, man,
Like what is he? What is that?
yeah. Is it like a Godzilla humanoid? What is it supposed to be?
Was he made out of dead people the whole time? I don't know. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Is he the vengeful spirits of like people who died in atomic war?
I'm sure that was like what he was trying to say. But
I think that was what was implied.
yeah.
Man, I was just goofing. I didn't realize. I was gonna hit the
that's
nail on the
actually.
head.
I think that's what.
I think that's what it was.
Also, all the Japanese bureaucracy stuff. I think that's the part where I fell asleep.
See, I think that part was interesting.
I like that stuff.
It is like kind of like going back to the old Godzilla, where it's a bunch of like
There's a lot of talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's scientists talking and like backstories, and do with a cool iPad.
But if you're doing a real world version of Godzilla, there would be a lot of people going, "Okay, what do we do?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to
Action
clear
stations.
this." Yeah,
somebody call the Sentai.
getting their giant robot.
They're not picking up. What do we do?
Yeah.
Zordon's not picking up.
Well, what about Gosei? Well, he's busy. What about Ultraman? Off-world. Like the Spider-Man asking about why Nick Fury, why can't the Avengers do something?
Yep.
Japanese Avengers. Oh, great. It's just...
I mean, that's what they're
was that?
heading
Battle
for
Fever
with-
J? Was that was?
With these Shin movies, aren't they heading for a big crossover one?
I
know they talked about
that's
it.
the theory. There is a pachinko machine that is a big, huge crossover of all of them. But yes, it's supposedly Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Godzilla, and Ava are the four.
Oh, if they made a Shin Ava live action movie.
The theory is 3.0 plus 1.0. The last Ava movie is kind of the Shin Ava.
I thought the one that just came out.
Yeah.
Well, not just came out, but
Yeah, it wraps up the series, but it is technically part of the Shin movie
Which is
franchise.
weird because the whole Shin thing just means new.
yeah.
That's all it means.
Well, that's what the Evangelion 4 movie set was. It was just a retelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So technically, it's the new.
That's true.
Ava.
That's true.
Yeah.
Although it goes completely off the rails about halfway through.
And that's fine.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's Evangelion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not a
Even
retelling.
for-
It's not a retelling anymore.
After the first
Oh.
movie, it becomes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Okay.
first movie is almost note for note the
first half of the series.
First half of the series until you get to the there's like little bits where you're like, why is that different?
Yeah.
What's going on here? And then the rest of them are completely different.
to be fair, if you're just gonna watch something that you've seen 100 times,
it's almost like the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah,
because
it's similar but different enough.
But something's not right, and I have a feeling in the next game something is going to happen. And
well, I mean, something did happen at the end of the remake that is markedly different than what actually happens in the original game.
Yeah.
The first Final Fantasy VII stole a bunch of stuff from Evangelion, so why not remake?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, when you're a cultural touchstone, people are going to eat your lunch.
I'm glad that they're not just doing a straight remake of Final Fantasy VII. It's so much more interesting. To like tweak parts of the story.
Oh yeah.
What happens if this character didn't die?
That's exactly what I was saying. I have a feeling in the next game they're going to get to that point, and that character isn't going to die.
I mean, I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, well then don't. But like that
character doesn't.
Well,
die.
There we go. So they've already done the thing that I was anticipating.
You've been tap dancing around it, and I've already figured it out, and I hate it. I mean, I don't hate it, but I hate that I figured it out.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
All right, we have time for one more check-em. Do you guys have anything?
I picked up Breath of the Wild again, Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Nice.
Since the new game is coming out shortly, and I technically never finished Breath of the Wild.
I mean, same.
I never did that last boss fight because I think it was one of those like I don't want it to be over situations.
Oh, sure. Where you actually go into the castle and beat down on Ganon?
Yeah, I mean, I had done almost everything in the game.
Me too. The last time I played it, like I had just completed, I think, the Cycle Quest.
I never actually got that, but like I played it, hundreds of hours.
Oh yeah. The last thing I was doing, I was doing the Trials of the Sword.
Those were incredibly difficult.
I know.
I gave up halfway through it.
Like I wanted the fully powered up Master Sword, but it's such a slog.
Yeah.
Because it was all the stuff in Breath of the Wild I didn't like.
But I figured I probably should finish it before the new game comes out. And,
right.
It's still good. It's still an amazing game.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I really wish Nintendo would have did something for the 35th.
Yeah.
Like they did with like Mario.
I think they've been throwing so many resources into the Mario movie.
Yeah.
It feels like that it's really hurting everything else.
Yeah, they're putting all their eggs into the movie basket.
Yeah, well, in the theme park too.
And the theme park.
It is a big deal, and Mario is the tentpole character of Nintendo. I get that. I do. But also, there are other big franchises I feel are...
Well, we haven't even gotten any new Mario games.
I know.
Yeah.
Well...
Not even a remake of an older game.
Technically, we did get Mario Rabbids 2.
Ubisoft made that.
I know.
Yeah, that's not
I know,
Nintendo.
I know. But yeah, as far as the because almost everything else has been a remake. Because you had the new Super Mario Brothers with the added Bowser's Fury story thing, whatever.
That rules too. That could be its own game. The Bowser's. Well, I mean, it technically is its own game, but it's not very long.
Something more grand.
Like, yeah, they could use that framework to build a whole game, and I would be totally down for it. Mm-hmm. Like, I 100% of that thing. I got all the stars and whatever. I liked it so much.
Yeah, and plus, the look of like that Bowser is truly intimidating.
Oh yeah, Fury Bowser.
Yeah, I think it's a better look than say like either Dry Bowser or Giga Bowser.
Oh, I hate Giga Bowser.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of whatever that is.
More realistic monster version.
Yeah. Oh, I've been playing the original Smash Brothers too.
Oh yeah,
that was part of
the 64 one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You got that 64.
Yeah, I got that big 64 haul at the Salvation Army.
That was such a wild pick. Like I can't believe you got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Smash Brothers didn't have the characters unlocked on it, and I'm like, this will not stand.
Sure.
I haven't unlocked them all yet. I I think I've got everybody but Ness.
Ness takes forever.
Yeah, well, you have to beat it on normal with only 3 lives with no continues.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost did it, but I choked on Master Hand at the end.
Bummer.
But man, I love that game so much.
It's so good, right?
It's so good. There's something so good about the pared down, like pure Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, where it's not like, it doesn't have all the bloat.
yeah, it doesn't have 100 million characters. It doesn't have any non-Nintendo characters. Like, it's just the core, like 8 guys, and it feels so much more. I don't know if it is actually balanced because I'm not up in the Smash boards or whatever.
Oh,
I
sure,
don't know.
yeah.
But
I'm sure they don't even.
balanced.
I'm sure they don't even touch it.
Probably not.
There is a mod. There's a mod that they've added
that
a
Smash
bunch.
Remix?
Smash Remix.
And that's
they've
really
added a bunch
cool,
of stuff.
actually.
Yeah.
It adds regular Wario.
Yeah.
That's another thing I do not understand with Nintendo is we have literally every Mario character in Smash Brothers except for Waluigi, and I'm not even.
He's a trophy. It's fine.
I know he's a trophy, but Wario's in there.
Yeah, but Wario has had how
Games.
many? Yeah,
That's
games
true.
upon games.
That's true.
He's got 2 separate franchises.
That's true.
I mean, it actually makes a lot of sense for Waluigi to just be a trophy because of how few games and how he's always just been kind of tacked on at the end.
Yeah, I mean,
and also Waluigi.
I mean, he was originally just an extra character for
Tennis.
Mario Tennis.
Mario Tennis, yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
There's other Mario characters I would rather see than Waluigi, to be completely honest.
I like Waluigi for the memes.
That's
but
true.
yeah.
That's true. The fact that the Piranha Plant was in there.
I like that.
It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
I love on a goof level. Like it's so.
Well, and it's got a clever moveset that is true to the character, and why not?
He transforms into Petey Piranha, and that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to get into this whole pile of news we have.
Hey, Paigey. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I don't know, Paige. But I do know this. Long Play is the #1 show at both 11 p.m. Fridays and 3 p.m. Saturdays. Right here on, you guessed it, 104.7 WZMO. I invite you to tune in and check out the show that's a legend in its own mind.
All right, we are back from the break. Let's get into some news.
Waluigi.
Is he? He's here.
He's here. We were just talking about him, so I figured, hey, he is #1 in our hearts.
Man, he sounded kind of, I don't know, kind of weird. You're like,
I mean, that's Waluigi.
That is Waluigi.
I know, but it came
Yeah.
off really like even creepier than
Guys, we can't keep talking about Waluigi like this.
I know.
All right, so let's get into some
there's
news.
the
There's the
episode
title.
title.
Yeah,
100%
that's
there's
it.
the title.
That's it. So the first thing we should talk about is the Zelda Direct for Tears of the Kingdom. They did a 10-minute gameplay of it or something,
Yep,
right?
Yeah, Mr. Aonuma came out and just literally played the game for 10 minutes and showed us some of the cool stuff he put in his game.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like Breath of the Wild expanded.
Yeah. A lot more verticality because there's all those flying islands. Mm-hmm. And apparently the map's not exactly the same. I don't know.
He was kind of cagey about it.
Yeah, we're about how it's not the exact same. There's things that are different. And
But it's still
But it also hints that you're going to see a lot of it. Honestly, it's probably a lot of like going from like Arkham City to like Arkham Knight kind of things. Like there's a lot of similar stuff, but also some different things.
I was gonna say Link to the Past to Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, similar, but
yeah.
not
A direct Zelda comparison.
yeah. Well, this second game started as a development as a DLC, right?
Yeah.
So it
Kinda
kind of
makes sense,
makes sense
yeah.
that everything is kind of pretty similar.
It definitely looks like it's become way more than a DLC.
Oh,
with
sure.
the stuff they've added. They've added a ton more runes, which are like the special powers that you have.
Yeah, there's like a reverse one, isn't there?
Like a reverse time.
Yeah.
Reverse time.
Which the runes were the replacement for your items in Zelda for this game, basically.
Yeah, like your bombs and things like that.
This one, there's one that reverses, not, like, I guess.
Reverses trajectory.
Yeah,
of
I wouldn't
things.
say time, but that's one of the ways you can get up on the floating island is if a rock falls, you can use this to reverse it back up into the air and ride on it.
Yeah.
There's one that lets you move upwards through solid objects that is right above you.
Yeah, you like magically like phase through stuff.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
So if you're in a cave on a mountain and want to get to the top of the mountain, you can go through the ceiling of the cave to the top of the mountain.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Is the gist behind that one. There's one that's fuse that combines items together.
Mm-hmm.
With like, it looks like a magical green goo, I guess.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
But he shows, like, the first thing he showed was attaching a rock to a stick to make it a stronger weapon. So, like, it's kind of like crafting, but a more intuitive kind of way, game mechanics wise.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, instead of popping into a menu to say, oh, I want to add this on this, you just like, I'm gluing this
You
to
do
this.
it in real time.
You just do it.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, right on.
And they showed just doing all kinds of stuff with this, like putting a mushroom on a shield so when the enemy hits it, a bunch of spores pop out like a smoke bomb.
Okay.
Or putting a bat's eyeball on your arrows, and now you've got
a homing arrow.
arrows.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like it's like they looked at like all the goofy stuff people were doing in the first Breath of the Wild with like, with Octorok balloons and things like that. It's like, what? Let's make that an actual gameplay, core mechanic.
Yeah.
Or when you did stuff with the magnets and metal carts and things like that.
Or when people do stasis on a rock and then ride the rock
And do
across
all the
ride
way
rock
across
all
the map.
across.
Like
yeah.
they kind of took that concept and said, well, why don't we let you build a flying fan machine raft out of it?
Yeah.
No, it sounds pretty cool. So it comes out in what, a couple weeks?
Couple months.
Couple
May?
months.
Yeah, it's May.
Okay.
It's like May
So,
4th.
but closer than not.
Oh yeah, we
So,
are the closest we've been.
Yeah.
We're always getting closer.
I mean, I guess technically we're always the closest we've been.
We're always getting
Yeah,
closer
but like
to
this is
Zelda
the
time.
first. This is the first time they've officially said development is done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they also announced a absolutely gorgeous OLED model Switch with Zelda stuff on it. It is so good.
Yes.
Like they did a really good job.
Yeah.
This is the best special edition
Yeah.
they've done for the Switch.
It's like way better than the Animal Crossing one.
Yeah. And the Animal Crossing one's pretty good.
That's pretty good
It
one.
was pretty good. And then the Splatoon one was nothing to write home about. Some different colored Joy-Cons.
Why wasn't there a Metroid one for Metroid Dread?
Right?
That would be neat.
Now, that should have been one. That's another big Nintendo staple.
Yeah.
Actually, is it anymore? They've done so few Metroid games.
They're kind of coming back around on it because lately it's been Dread and then the remaster and
Sure.
then they made a big deal about putting Fusion on the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, that's
thing.
true. They're trying.
They're trying to heat it up for when Prime comes out, whenever that is.
Whenever.
You're talking about Prime 3?
4. Yeah. Which, man, I finished Prime Remastered. Now I want 2 Remastered real bad. Like, I'm really, because I still have 2 on GameCube, and I'm really fighting, like, do I want to wait for the remaster, or do I want to just play it on my GameCube now?
Yeah. Well, the problem is you'll be going backwards in graphical fidelity.
That's true.
Yeah. It'll go
Yeah.
back to what it actually was and not what you thought it was.
Yeah, and
when
it
you were
won't,
a kid.
it won't have the good controls.
Yes.
Too.
Right. Yeah.
Not that that's really that big of a deal for that game, because it's not real. It's a first-person shooter that's not really about aiming, because you can just lock on.
Yeah.
So
It's more about solving puzzles and stuff.
and exploring. Like I don't think it would be that big of an adjustment. Graphically, it probably would, but I don't think the controls were that bad to begin with.
Yeah. Hey, let's keep talking about some video game stuff. So the E3, the big electronic
Entertainment
Expo is no more.
Yeah, at least for this year.
At least for this year. It was canceled.
Again.
And probably for the forever.
Yeah, because everybody started pulling out, and then they're like, well, we got nothing.
Yeah, I
E3 was always like the San Diego Comic-Con of video games, basically.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
And it wasn't so much as canceled as it was taken out back by Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo and shot.
Yeah, it was old yellered a little bit.
Yeah.
So they're not doing it this year, and a lot of it is because a lot of the big names just weren't going to be a part of it.
Well, why compete for attention on 3
On one
days?
weekend. Oh yeah, one
when
weekend.
You can do
Just
your
put it on
own-
the internet.
Yeah, you
Well,
can.
Nintendo's done that for years. They haven't really had a presence at E3 in a long time.
Yeah, well,
They-
definitely not. Like, they'll do a booth with a bunch of cool stuff in it.
Right, but they won't announce anything. They'll do their own direct about a week or two afterwards.
That's the thing. Like everyone's just basically been doing their own little directs.
Yeah.
State of play and whatever Xbox calls their thing, which I don't even think they even call it anymore.
They don't do a whole lot.
They just had one not too long ago
Oh yeah,
with them and Bethesda.
right.
I forget. I think it was called Developer Direct or something.
Something like
I
that.
don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that Microsoft bought Bethesda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With their Starfield that'll never come out. It keeps getting delayed.
It'll never come out.
Man, there are so many games that have been in development hell forever, and they're just never coming.
I want to go to space, Todd. Take me to space. I do really want to play that game. I mean, I like it. Looks very hard sci-fi.
Mm-hmm. It does.
It's like Skull and Bones. It's never gonna come.
All right, some other game stuff. Multiversus. This is a game that you guys have played. It was a free Smash clone.
I fell off of it.
You fell off of
We
it.
all did.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
did. Everyone did.
But this was the Warner Brothers branded
Smash Bros.
Smash Brothers, where they had a lot of characters,
and it was really solid. Like gameplay wise, it was a really solid game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, it has been taken off. It's been taken down for the
Surprise!
next.
We were actually participating in an open beta. I
Yeah,
guess.
surprise!
Even though it said it on the splash page.
Did it? Oh.
Yeah, it did. It said open beta.
But they still would take your money if
they
you
took
give
a
it
lot
to
of
them.
your people's money
Yeah.
because it was a fully functioning game, and they took it down and said it will not come back until 2024, maybe earlier. So at bare minimum 6 months.
Well, part of the problem was it came out, everybody started playing it, but then they weren't releasing anything in a timely manner, and
Yeah.
everyone just kind of fell off.
They weren't keeping it fresh fast enough.
There was a sharp player drop off from what I understand.
Oh yeah, the PC player count went down 99%.
Yeah.
There wasn't quite enough there yet.
No, they only added a handful of characters.
There was like 3 stages.
Yeah, there was the Rick and Morty show me what you got big head stage.
Steven Universe.
Yeah, you had
Scooby Doo.
I think you had 2 Steven
And
Universe
Batman.
stage, and yeah, you had the Batcave. And you had the Scooby Doo haunted house. That
Which was the best
and
one.
and then you had like the bare bones basic Smash style stage.
Yeah. The Omega stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Omega Arena
Yeah.
or whatever.
But yeah, it's weird. It's weird that they continue to take your money all the way right up until
Oh, they're
the shutdown.
they're also not offering any refunds.
That's weird.
I don't understand why they have to take it down.
That's what a lot of articles I've seen was
Like-
is like we get it, but why take it off?
Yeah, just
My theory is it has something to do with the Warner Brothers Discovery merger. I have a feeling that because when the merger first happened, the development team for this game came out and said, "We are not part of this. We're not going to be affected by this merger." I have a feeling
JK.
during the time that it's down, that is going to change.
Well, the other thing is like,
So it's either never coming back or it's going to come back in a more predatory fashion,
oh yeah,
like monetarily predatory.
This is the thing. This whole trend here lately of games as a service, games as a live service, is been. I understand that when you make a game and you come out as free, quote unquote, free,
You have to make money somehow.
yes, but also, it is such a people are getting fatigued from it.
and
'Cause-
there's no reason why this game had to follow that model either.
yeah,
There's no
exactly.
reason for it.
Yeah,
No.
because they could sell it. It was good enough to where they could have sold
They
it
could
for
have sold it.
$60. Like,
Yeah.
it's Smash Brothers isn't free to play.
But
like,
why get $60 now when you can bilk your player base for 70,
Eternity,
100, 120
Just because it
all down the road? Evergreen.
Just because it's worked for Fortnite doesn't mean it's going to work for everything. Fortnite's also been out for 5 years.
Has it only been 5 years?
It's been 5 years.
Yeah, it feels like it's been around forever.
I know. It is such a huge, I don't know, presence in the gaming hobby,
Yeah,
if you want to call it that.
sure. It's a hobby.
Yeah. I mean, it's there. It's like one of the.
It's not a hobby, it's my life. Dad.
Are you winning, son?
Are you winning? Well, it's interesting that this happened right on the heels of
Other
the,
games shuttering.
The Epic, what was it? The wrestling
Rumbleverse.
one.
Rumbleverse.
That just shuttered. But at least they, for the last week or two, opened up their store for.
They unlocked everything.
For everyone and refunded everybody of every purchase they'd made for the entire
Life of the game.
Which is, I mean, the game only lasted 5 months, but
5 months, 2
That's-
battle passes, and really not much to say about actual shop items. It was like just random little costume bits.
Yeah. But at least they did the right thing and refunded everybody.
Oh yeah. And I
Yeah.
tell you, people online were devastated.
It was a good game.
Oh yeah. Plus it was different.
Yeah, and
Yes.
It just it didn't seem like they needed to shut it down. And people were playing it enough, and it just needed time to grow. And
According to one of the
the
developers, they're working on a way to try to make it at least available to people so they can host their own servers and
It's like
do private kind of things.
Knockout City shuttered too.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Although I didn't know that many people that played Knockout City.
I played it a bit when it first came out,
Same.
and then I fell off of it, and
I thought it was good enough.
Oh yeah,
I'm
it was a good
I
game. It
like
was
this
fun.
enough.
The world and everything was different. The gameplay was interesting. And then they were like,
it was just EA, so you knew they weren't going to support it.
well, sure.
"Oh yeah, oh yeah."
Unless it was the biggest thing of all time, they weren't going to keep
They weren't gonna-
supporting
Yeah, I
that.
mean, I'm kind of sad that I missed the Ninja Turtle thing they had, but
Yeah.
and then you had, but yet Ninjala is still kicking around.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow, and that wasn't good.
No,
I
that
played
game is
and
terrible.
I
And that one had-
actively did not like Ninjala.
that one. Yeah, I played a few matches and immediately bounced off of it. And that one had a Naruto crossover event. So it's like, okay, this garbage game keeps living, but
Well,
also it's more kid focused and it's on the Switch.
and
Yeah.
also
So-
if developing additions to the game are relatively inexpensive, they can afford to keep the game running
That's true.
longer.
That's true.
The thing I didn't like about Ninjala is that it felt like it was all luck. Like whoever could waggle their little
Stick fast
sword
enough.
at them first just immediately won.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah. And what's like Splatoon 3? Like I love Splatoon, but for some reason I bounced off 3 kind of hard. Like I own it, but I can't tell you the last time I actually played it.
I played it a decent amount, but I definitely didn't play it as much as 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived on 2.
Well, because it didn't innovate enough.
That's true.
Yeah.
I also feel like
it
it's
definitely felt like a
2+ and not a 3.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
what they add a locker you can put trash in.
Yeah, basically. Hey, let's bounce off of video games for a bit. We had a trailer for the new Pixar movie Elemental.
Yeah, it's like, hey, why? What if Earth, Wind, and Fire had emotions?
I love that band.
It just feels like they didn't try that hard, I guess. It's just like, hey, I guess like they just went, well, what about fire and water and
It looks
something?
like in the movie, a girl that is made of fire falls in love with a
Water dude.
guy that is made out of water, and
in a world where the elements are people.
elements are people,
Instead
and,
of the
and
cars
the
are
elements
people.
don't mix because they are disruptive to each other. It
It's
seems
an
kind of
allegory
like
for race.
yeah. Well, it seems like low hanging fruit. The theming of the movie seems like low hanging fruit. It seems like the lowest, like you said, kind of lowest common denominator. Oh,
it's the lazy storyline.
it's
bit.
kind of lazy.
Well, it's
And
like,
two,
they already did cars. Like, what if people were cars? Well, like now, what if people were fire? Like,
yeah, and
what if people were monsters? It's the same. It's the same thing.
What if
and-
people were toys?
and I'll be honest,
What
yeah.
if one person was a red panda?
Hey, I love, and that's not Pixar.
Yes,
That was Pixar.
no,
Was
that's
that
Pixar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
Pixar.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I
that's
love
no
Turning
slate
Red.
to that movie. That's
Yeah,
one of my,
Turning Red's a fantastic
Yeah,
movie.
that's
Yeah.
one of my favorite Pixar movies, probably.
Yeah,
It's so
it-
good.
It just seems like this Pixar is usually pretty on point with their stuff, and this one just kind of seems like it It's not quite there.
What is going on at Disney that the last few movies they've kind of released were kind of meh?
I don't know.
They can't all be Encanto.
They can't.
I guess.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. But like, you had almost no marketing for Strange World.
Yeah. And that movie was fine.
Yeah.
It wasn't the... Yeah.
It was all right.
It was like an 8 out of 10.
It was all right. But I mean, I liked Lightyear.
And they just...
I really liked Lightyear.
They just kind of like dumped out the last couple Pixar movies on Disney Plus too.
Yeah, that's true.
With little to no fanfare.
That's true.
And Soul was very good. I liked that one a lot.
I liked Soul. I liked Soul a lot. That was like kind of the first victim in this whole soiree. But also the pandemic didn't help.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. They're just gonna, after this, they'll probably go back to a previously established IP.
They'll do Toy Story 9.
Well, they've already said they're doing another Toy Story.
Of course they are.
Which, let it rest.
Beat that bullseye to death.
Oh.
Bullseye goes to the glue factory.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This movie it looks like it's gonna go the way of the good dinosaur.
Oh, that movie stinks.
Yeah.
I don't like that movie at all.
I never saw it, but I saw the trailer and I'm like,
no, thank you.
When Disney Plus first came out and I was looking through the catalog and I was like, you know what? I've never seen this movie. And I'm like, well, I guess I didn't miss much.
Hey, speaking of Disney movies and kind of missing the mark, did you see that they're going to be making turning their live action adaptation gaze to the Aristocats?
You mean the Aristocats, the greatest Disney movie ever made of all time?
I forgot that's one of your favorite ones.
That was my childhood favorite. Is the Aristocats?
I have a framed piece of art hanging in my living room that has the 3 kittens on it, and it says, "Everyone wants to be a cat."
No.
I've only seen it once.
I don't know why it was my favorite as a kid. Maybe just because I like cats.
But also, it comes from the weird era of like 70s Disney.
Yeah, where it's like really sketchy lines, and they recycle a lot of animation from other movies.
Sure.
Oh yeah, like the dance scene with Duchess and Thomas O'Malley is a straight rip from the one from Robin Hood.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Where Maid Marian dances.
Right.
And like Thomas O'Malley's like the coolest Disney character they ever made.
Also, he's the same voice actor as Baloo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. He was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they're doing a live action CG hybrid of this movie.
But it's being directed by Questlove, so the music will be good.
The music will be good, at least, and that is kind of one of the major things of the Aristocats.
Yeah,
if I remember it correctly, there's a lot of music.
That's the better part of the film, I would think.
Except for that one part.
What one part?
Where they meet up with the jazz band cats.
That's like the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That Chinese cat's kind of...
Well, yeah, but that's the
product of its time.
That's the product of its time.
I know.
That's why it has that little opening on Disney Plus.
Know.
Yeah.
But still, though.
But that song rules. Like, and then a cat plays the trumpet. Like,
oh yeah,
it's the best movie ever made.
Well, so it sounds like this might be okay.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the artistic direction they take it in. Like, if it looks like that live action Pinocchio that they farted out last year.
That's true.
Well,
that's no
the Peter Pan one's getting ready to drop too.
Oh, Peter Pan and Wendy. That's right.
Peter
that is
and Wendy.
coming.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I never cared for Peter Pan. Not my thing.
No, not really my thing either. I liked Hook. Hook was fine.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Hook is probably one of the best things to ever come out of the Peter Pan mythos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like generally like I'm a kid forever and I wear a green spandex and like we all jump around on an island and then there's the part with Native Americans that we don't talk about. Like I'm just not no.
No, I get it. I get it.
I think for me as a kid, I think I latched onto the Peter Pan so much. Like I read the book when I was really, really young, like the original book.
Oh, okay.
When I was really young. And then I think it's this, and then Hook, and then it just kind of formed into this whole. And then there was like that one Fox animated show where Tim Curry was the voice of Captain Hook. Was it Peter Pan and the Pirates?
I think so.
Is what it was called.
Yeah.
And I don't. And then
I mean, that's a good voice for Hook.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you that.
And then just my general love of pirates in general.
That's what I was gonna say. It does have pirates, and cool.
that's kind of your thing a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of pirates, the latest season of The Mandalorian has had pirates, like space pirates.
Nice.
But
I have
pirates.
not. I have not watched any of this season.
they're a little too nautical piratey in a way that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ellswick texted me the other day. He's like, "Hey, did you watch the new episode yet?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Because an animated series character popped up, and I'm so excited."
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I saw that.
And now that you've mentioned that, I think I figured out who it is.
Oh, I don't remember what his name is, but he's from Rebels.
Was it Hondo?
That might be who I don't remember his name. He's the alien man.
Yeah, is he a pirate? Pirate captain?
No, he was hanging out with the X-Wing pilots.
Oh, okay, never mind then. It's not who I thought it was, because I got really excited for a second.
The main pirate guy looks too much like Davy Jones if you covered Davy Jones with moss. And he has a little first mate guy that looks like Alien Shmee.
Okay.
And their big Corsair capital ship has a ship's wheel in the middle of it, but it's it doesn't have the knobs on it, so it's a little Star Wars.
Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really fit. Why is there nautical pirates in Star Wars?
I mean,
silly.
you
Water planet?
I mean, I guess.
Well, yeah. Mon Cal.
Oh yeah, Mon Calamari. There's a bunch of aliens that have squid heads, but not Mon Calamari squid heads. They're different. They're triangular.
Well, you had.
I mean, I guess the Kaminoans, their planet was primarily water.
Yeah. Kamino's all water. Mon Cal's all water because you had the Quarrens and then you had the Mon Cals. They both live on that same planet. And then you had Kit Fisto, and he's got tentacles, and he's a water guy.
Best Star Wars name.
I know, right?
It just feels a little bit on the nose.
I mean, you had Hondo and his pirates in Clone Wars and Rebels. He was very much a space pirate. Kind of, yeah.
Our Shiver Me Timbers.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I'm surprised none of them said Shiver Me Timbers.
Really?
It
Wow.
was that.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you had in season 2 of Mandalorian, you had the whole fishing village or whatever. Everyone looked like just English fishermen with the big thick sweaters and the overalls.
Oh yeah, where Grogu ate all the babies.
Yeah.
I watched that. I've seen that one.
Ate all the frog eggs.
Yeah.
Grogu is a menace.
Hey, last thing we should talk about, and this is kind of video game, kind of media based a little bit. The Scott Pilgrim.
Oh yeah, on Netflix.
Anime.
Yeah,
Yes,
to Netflix.
it's getting because Scott Pilgrim is vaguely video game based a little bit.
Yes.
But they're doing an anime of the original comic, and
They're bringing all the movie actors to voice
that's the
it.
craziest thing is that they're getting practically everyone.
It is everyone.
Yeah.
It is exactly everyone, which I would have never guessed.
Chris Evans, Michael Cera.
Like I would have figured Michael Cera would have come
Yeah,
back.
he hasn't
Some
really-
of the other ones like
he hasn't been
Mary
doing much.
Elizabeth. I figured they would at least get Scott and Ramona.
yeah, but
Chris Evans?
They got Chris Evans. They got
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey
they got Stacey Pilgrim.
Oh, I forget who played his sister.
I know, but she's somebody who's
Anna Kendrick.
Yes, Anna Kendrick.
Yeah, there we go.
they even have what's her name for Eve?
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson. They're getting everyone. This is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, and Stacey Pilgrim and Chris Evans's character are not big parts either. And
No.
they're bit parts for big time celebrities.
Well, it's one day in a booth, I
That's
guess.
true.
But still, that's pretty cool.
And it's being animated by anime studio Science Saru, who does a lot of really good work. They did that movie, The Night is Short, Girl Walk On, which has some wild animation if you look up the trailer to that.
Okay.
I kind of hope it just looks like the comic.
I mean, it should.
I mean, it probably will.
I mean, that's what before the Scott Pilgrim movie came out, there was that short that was voiced by everybody. Well, all the characters that were supposed to be, that were in the movie.
And it was like a flashback to...
Yeah, it was a flashback to when Scott first moved to a school.
I think when he first meets...
The drummer.
Kim Pine,
Yeah.
But it was in the style of the comic, and it was a really good animated short. I remember really, really, really liking it.
So this seems really cool.
It's huge news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Also, if it gets anybody interested in the Scott Pilgrim comic again, let's go.
Yeah, because that's good stuff.
Yeah.
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 Although I want to read his other comic.
Seconds?
Seconds.
Yeah, I've always
Seconds.
wanted to read that, and
Yeah.
I just never have.
It's been on my Amazon wish list like
I should
forever.
probably. I'll bet it's at the library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I haven't thought to look at that.
Yeah. Use the Libby app. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
You read Spy Family on it the
Yeah,
other
I
day.
did.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it's a good app.
Ooh, that reminds me, there was some Spy Family news.
Well,
Yes.
I know it could be.
It's not very much.
It's not
okay.
Second season is coming out in October,
Okay.
and there's a movie coming out in December.
Yeah, they're doing a movie.
Nice.
Which I mean,
They usually do.
I mean every
Yeah.
every
Any
anime's
big
been
anime
getting a
gets
movie.
one. Yeah.
Getting a movie lately.
But this one actually deserves one.
I know, right?
Well, cool. Well,
But-
awesome.
And that's this, for me just loving that show so much.
Sure. All right, we have actually hit time, so let's go ahead and wrap things up for the week. You have been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Patreon at Nerd Overload Now.
You can email us at staff@nerdoverload.com.
You can give us a call on the Nerd Overload hotline. The number is 419-561-5556. Leave us a message and we might play it on the show. I'm not going to do the shout because Samantha gives me a dirty look every time I do it.
Well, that's the best part, though. You can also find all our back episodes on various podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and more. And finally, I'd like to thank David Pencil for the use of our intro and outro. You can find more of his stuff over at davidpencil.com. And special thanks to Parker, who helps us out with the Facebook page, finding all the news articles that we talk about.
Yeah,
for
he
the
does all
week.
the heavy lifting.
He does a lot of the heavy lifting.
News Hound Parker.
That's right. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
Pizza out.